All right, welcome back. So this time I figure we'll go ahead and look at, finish looking up at the Trendline Tools here and the Gann and Fibonacci Tools. So as I showed you in the last video, the Trendline tool, your parallel channel, those types of things. Of course, we've looked at those interior settings on those. Now, you do have some other things here. You have your horizontal line, which if you click that, it just does what it says. It makes a horizontal line there. You also have one here that if you go down, it says vertical line, and again, does the same thing, just puts a vertical line on there. And so you have those two, excuse me, and just like, the rest of those lines in there, you can change their color, their type of line, their style there. You can change, the opacity of the color, the thickness of the line, all that great stuff. You can change their coordinates, where they're located. You can change the visibility, what time frames you have them on, and do all those things as well. Now, if you go in here as well, they do have arrows. So again, you put your first point and then you push to where you want that arrow to go. And so on these, you'll also notice that you'll have these pads pop up here. And these just give you quick access. So instead of double clicking or right clicking and then going to the settings, you can just go right here and change your color, for instance. You can change, in this case, how thick the line is. You can change, if it's a dot or a dash line. You can change, if it's got an arrow at one end or the other, or if it continues on forever. All that great stuff. And, your left end, your right end over here. And, of course, there's your settings that brings that up right there. As well as, by the way, you can clone or copy. And so basically what you do is just click on it, and then you can click it right here, and there you go. And you have the exact same thing that you already had, and you can use that as well. That's a good thing if you want to, make the same shape multiple times with your drawing tools. You'll have that. Again, we talk about the locking and everything here. So if you do the lock all drawing tools, then notice you can't see if I click on it, I can't move it. The whole chart moves with it. If you take it off, there you go. And so that's what that does, of course. And, again, like we have this arrow over, or this eyeball over here, you have it right here as well. And you can, not show it. Or you can show it again. Of course, it's disappeared there. I'll have to show you a way to do that here. As we get through all this, I'll show you how to use this right here, this object tree. But anyway, you can, again, go right here, and it goes up there. And much like your trash can here, you can use the trash can there. Again, you hit this trash can, it gets rid of everything that's on this chart. So even the one that we couldn't see anymore is now gone on there as well. Let's see here. Another interesting channel thing you might have, if you want to draw things like, maybe a descending or an ascending triangle, something like that. You would use this right here. This is the flat top or flat bottom. So you put your first point, and then your second point is not the straight across. It's the angle one. And your third point then is your flat. Again, you can start it here. You can do it down here. And then as you can see here, that the first 2 points are your angle. Your third point is your flat. And so that's just a quick, easy way to kind of get, if you're thinking maybe you have like an ascending triangle or a descending triangle or something like that, printing, that's a quick and easy way to kind of do that instead of having to draw yourself. And then it has your background there. Now, again, as I mentioned, you can change the colors on here. Again, always the visibility you have to change. And you can change the line, which are these parts right here, their color. And then, of course, the type of what they are there, how thick they are, all those great things. Whether, they're arrows or not, all that fun stuff. And then, of course, extending the line or not, extending it the other way. And then, of course, the background is the other one here. And you can change the color of that background. And, of course, the opacity of it here. How bright or how bright or not bright do you want that background there on that. If you hit cancel, nothing changes. It all stays the same. This is a helpful little tool, though, especially when you're trying to get these types of things in there. Now, the other thing we have here, that'll probably be of importance to you are these. Again, you've got your pitchforks here. So here's the thing. You have a pitchfork, you have a shift pitchfork, a modified shift pitchfork, and an inside pitchfork. Now you can just go and grab one here. Let me set this timing a little bit different here. We'll just go right on over here. And so let's say you just pick the regular pitchfork and you draw these lines on here. Now, depending, you might go in here and go, that doesn't fit so well. I want to change it to one of the other ones. So instead of having to redraw with one of those other ones, you can go right down here to Style, and you can go to Original. I guess it came off as modified there. You can put in Shift. Oh, that one looks like it fits better. You can put on Modified Shift, or of course you want to do your inside there, your inside one. And you just hit OK, and it goes off there. On this, you can change which of these channels you want set up here. Which ones do you want showing up or not? Take off your 38.2, your 61.8. And so now you've got these in here. You can change the colors of them. So now your 25s, your 25% there are in yellow. Your 50% we can put in a blue. And then, you can put your one there in red. And your two down here in, I don't know, purple if you want. Whatever you want there. And of course with each one you can change. You notice how some of these are straight lines and others are dashed lines. Help you differentiate it. And let's say you decide this is the way you want it to look all the time. You go right down here to Template and you go Save As, and you can just put whatever you wanted in there. Maybe this crazy color, right? And you save that in there and you hit OK. And so now if you go and you get rid of this, and again you go back up here to Pitchfork and you draw you a pitchfork on there, it automatically comes up with that. But let's say that you want to put it back to the defaults. Well, there's what it normally looks like when the first time you draw it. That's what it's going to look like. But again, that's ugly, right? We don't want that, right? So again, if you want your personalization in there, you just go to your template, you go to the one that you want on there, and boom, there it is, just the way you want it, the type of channel, everything else, or the type of pitchfork and everything else that you want in there. By the way, this template feature, you can use the same with everything you use. So one thing you'll notice is if you follow me, my fib retracements, this is the way I have them colored here for this particular background. But I also have all different kinds here. I've got OTE. I'll have to notice the visibility. This is the other thing. Make sure you have your visibility set to where it's going to show up. But notice on that one, I just have the 1, the 70.5, and the 0 there on that. If I go to the 70.5, that always gives the 70.5 and the 61.8. So whatever I want to change it to, it's already got it set up there. There's your custom colors. And then again, for this particular background, I have these colors set on there. And it shows you the particular fibs that you want as well. Now, you can also change which fibs you have. These don't have to be here. You can put whatever numbers you want in here. If you want the 86.5, you could put that in here instead, and it would change it to 86.5. Again, the same thing that you can do with your channels here, because these are percentages. This is 25%, 50%, 75%, 1.0, and whatnot as you do all that. And again, you have all your different tools here, depending on what you want to use, whether it's your pitch fan, your Gann box, your Gann square, your Gann fan, your fib retracement, trend-based fib extension, fib speed, I can't even say it, fib speed resistance fan, all these different things, fib spirals, fib channels, whatever it happens to be that you're interested in doing there to figure out what you're looking for as far as your trading goes. And again, they all change the same way. You can go in here, you can set all the different extensions right here. Do you want to extend it right or left? As you can see there, exchanges, levels line, you can do as thick as you want or as thin as you want, dashed or not. As you can see over here, it's changing. Right here, you can change your prices to where it shows the prices they're at those points. You can do the levels, which is the values, labels on the left, center, or right. I see it'll change all of that. So all those fine tool things you can change in there, and then you can save them as a template and go on. So the next time here, we're going to look at a couple of more of these sections here.